Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome to the final episode of our Tekkit Classic Reborn 2.0 Let's Play Adventure. And for those of you panicking and losing your minds, don't worry, we will be picking up with 2.1 as soon as it is released here in a couple of weeks. I don't have an ETA on that. That's just going off what the great game guy said Tenseo told him. So we'll be taking a bit of a break from the pack until the next iteration is ready. Until then, we are, of course, going to be taking our house with us to 2.1, so I wanted to do a bit of a Let's Build here to close out the 2.0 series, where I completely renovate the homestead. And I started off here, you can see me there working in the video, trying to figure out, I wanted to have a nice square area. Wizard Ralph told me squares were the best, easiest shapes to move between worlds and dimensions. Wizard Ralph is, of course, going to be helping us with this, so I had to square out a nice even block around the house, which you see me doing there. I also wanted to get rid of all that water. I wanted to fill it in with dirt. Unfortunately, now that we understand how the transmutation table works, kind of, it was really easy to get all the dirt we needed. In fact, I don't think there was a point where I ran out of EMC at all in this build, because for the most part, I use really cheap materials. So you can see me right now using a ton of dirt. Later on, I used a lot of stone blocks, which are also extremely cheap, and we do alter the house quite a bit. A lot of this video, though, a lot of this build is based around trying to get the yard ready more than anything else. And as you can see, I spent a lot of time going back and forth in the water here, filling this in. Yes, there are ways to do this faster, more cheaty ways, if you will, but I am no cheater. I did this all manually by hand, and I mean, heck, you can see me doing it right there. Once I got the water filled in, I knew I needed to focus on some sort of a wall, because I'm tired of being besieged by creatures and having to go to bed. So I continued to just work on and getting everything really squared off, and while I was doing that, I was trying to imagine what kind of a wall I wanted to build. And what I ultimately came up with was a wall that I believe is 3 blocks wide, made of stone blocks. There's a lot of other elements, more decorative elements later on, but I really wanted to get like a strong, blocky foundation all the way around before I started focusing on one wall, which you see me doing here, and trying to figure out artistically what it was going to look like. Because I don't just want an efficient wall, I want a beautiful wall. It's going to be the best wall, and best of all, I believe Canada paid for this entire wall, so that's fantastic. Thank you, Canada. You guys are the best. If you live there and you think your country's called Canada, what are you smoking? Get real. I also put a little ledge over it so that spiders couldn't crawl over the edge. Being serious here for a moment, I did make it so that spiders couldn't crawl over the edge. So yeah, I know what I'm doing. However, as I built this thing, I began to realize I didn't want to live in a box that I couldn't see out of, so Wizard Ralph helped me out. I called him in with his wizard buddies. They lifted the house and the yard up 5 blocks so it was flush with the top of the wall, as you see here. He wasn't happy about it. He told me, Rees, I can't do a Wizard Ralph voice, but you know what he sounds like. Basically that I was wasting his and the order's time. I thought it was nice though. I thought it worked out really well. So now we have this big wall that enemies, like that little baby skeleton down there, can't get inside of, but also we can see over the edge, and it's nice. So I'm really happy about that. Next thing I had to do was come in and figure out how to get in and out of the property. So we have this giant big wall to protect us, but then at the base of that wall, there's just a gate, like a literal gate, and that's how you get in and out of the property. There's also a basement that you won't see in this video underneath the house, and we'll probably see that we most definitely will see that in the future, because a lot of the ugly processes we'll be doing will be kept down there. Things that you don't want in your house or in your yard, if you know what I mean. So I did some work making walkways. I made some recessed walkways because I was like, that's artistic, that's unique, right? I thought so, at least. Now, it was still, I mean, even though we're protected from things attacking us outside the house, monsters can still spawn inside at night, like inside the property. So I had to start the process of lighting it up with torches. Now, I was trying to be... Look, I had a plan, but at the end of the day, I just gave up and did a grid of torches. It's not good. It doesn't look good at all, but it does work. Okay, now listen. Later, if we come up with a better idea, I will certainly switch this out. But for right now, this grid of torches is effective. Once I had that down and I wasn't worried about monsters spawning inside the property anymore, I turned my attentions to the roof of the house, which I have always hated. it just never looked good. It was just something I did because I was running out of time and needed to get episode 0 finished. But now that I had more time and I could go back and focus on it, I gave it the good pitched roof that I give all of my houses in Minecraft, since I think Tekkit Legends might have been what started that, maybe even before that in a different series, I don't know. In any case, I added the pitched roof, which I'm a big fan of, and I did something a little bit different. I don't know if you'll be able to see it during these sweeping pans, but instead of having it blocked up, I just put in some fencing so that natural light can still filter through, and it's open so we can get a nice breeze. You know, heat rises, so the heat will go up to the top of the house, and the wind will carry it out. It'll be delightful. But that pretty much does it. So if you want to see the inside and everything that I've done, subscribe, stay tuned to the channel. When we get to the first episode, or I guess episode 0 of TCR 2.1, I'll give you a better look at the house. Until next time, thank you folks all so much for watching. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you later. Bye!